the description and stuff right?
Yes, the hot sleep.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chad and Mary are wearing red. Steve and Holly are wearing blue.
I know Steve, so that would be easy.
Well, you don't know everybody. Thank you, Mason.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
I didn't figure you'd mind.
No, it sounds fun, so. Those new logos for BCA?
Yeah. Yep, brand new logos. They're trying to change their image a little bit.
Yeah. I for sure like that BCA. Kind of looks like the Beats.
Yeah, it does.
Beats logo.
The guy that does those logos and stuff, he's the photographer that does all matchroom stuff.
Oh, great.
Yeah, he's a good guy too.
Cool. I love how cool it's going.
He's from France. Really good guy. He's one of the best photographers too for pool. He's gotten some fantastic shots.
You do need like the right understanding of the game.
Yeah.
To get the right timing of the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll have like, kind of amateur.
Yeah. Go ahead and use that headset there, and we are live. Welcome back. I know we had a little bit of a break there, but you guys, we got the Scotch doubles hot seat match for you. And we have Chad and Mary and Steve and Polly. And let me make sure I get this right. I'm going to change the colors of the scoreboard to match the colors that their clothes are.
That's a good idea.
There you go. I'm going to take a minute to remind you guys about our sponsors, OBQs. OBQs has sponsored us for many years. Their new fusion shaft that they have is carbon fiber shaft center and wood on the exterior. The version 4 that they have is absolutely fantastic. Come check it out at one of our events. We should have them in Vegas. All right, so this is Mary. Just looks like she's just practicing right now. And we have Mason. What's your last name?
Cook is how you...
Okay.
Yep.
So Mason Cook is with us today. And Mason is a local player here. And Are you from Green Bay? Or
No. I live in Appleton.
Oh, okay, in Appleton.
Yep.
And probably play out of the Mad Apple then?
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
My dad owns the Mad Apple as well, so I'm there every day. I work there a couple times a week doing pool table installation, recoveries, stuff like that, and then I'm always in there practicing. So
it's cool.
It's a good gig.
Yeah. I think they're probably going to get started here in a minute.
I'm sure, yeah.
She hits the ball pretty well.
Looks like it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny how you can tell how somebody approaches a shot. You can tell how they shoot.
Yeah, you can. It should be good.
Yeah, we do a lot of pro events also. We have Derby City Classic. We're actually recording matches right now. AccuStats does all the live streaming, but we're recording matches and putting those out a week after Derby's over.
Nice.
We have Efren's back, and Efren's doing his thing. He's 57 now, I think, and Still hits the ball pretty good.
Yeah. I had not heard that he was back. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, we actually have a match with him playing Danny Smith.
Okay.
A race to 3-1 pocket with Bustamante commentating.
Okay, that's great. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, Efren obviously is so good.
Yeah. One of my heroes for sure.
It's cool all the variants of games that he's just so advanced in. You know, it's cool to see somebody so skilled and effortless and experienced and humble. You know, he's a great. Seems like a great person. So it's cool to see him still doing his thing. You know.
Years ago, I used to run with Jesse Bowman and Mike Dunklin.
Oh yeah.
And to watch Jesse play on a bar box is, it's like magic.
Oh yeah.
For a long time, I would actually go and say, that Jesse was one of the best bar box players in the world. Now I know he doesn't play as much as he used to, but
well, that's been said. Yeah, I've heard that a few times. So, and again, I don't know how much he shoots recently. But I know that, of course, it's kind of like you never really lose it. So it's again, connected to the Efren thing. It's cool to see people who have played great and still play great. And
Jesse, they started having kids, and when that happened, Jesse sort of shifted to cards because he could play cards, he could play poker, and not interfere as much with his family life. So.
Okay.
I think they're probably ready to start. Oh, okay. We got one of them that's taking a little break before they start the match, but you guys just get piled up in the viewers there.
Right.
Then we'll get some pool for you.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with us, it's BadBoys TV, and we don't do the play-by-play commentary. It's more like two guys sitting in a bar watching a match talking. I'm not going to go and tell you that, they're shooting rotation. I'm not going to tell you they're shooting the 1, now they're going to shoot the 2, and now they're going to shoot the 3, because hopefully you already know that.
Right.
That's the most boring commentary ever.
Yeah. It's nice when there's some insight, but if you're over commentating and basically explaining the rules every 3 seconds, it's
yeah. Well, not only that, when you're talking about amateur pool, there's 100 different ways you could do every shot.
Oh yeah.
Basically what happens is you look like you're wrong all the time. But wrong's a big word because you could shoot it, like I said, 1,000 different ways.
Yeah, right.
I did it last night with Preston. I thought he was actually going to just put a little bit of left on a shot and come around, and he didn't. He actually just drew back, which both were great options. It's
right.
It's personal preference and
for sure.
What feels good to you when you're shooting.
Right.
Oh, we got Jimmy Bluffett in. He's a poker player that frequents our stream.
All right.
What does rotation mean? Well, Jimmy, you just come on out and I'll show you.
Yeah, there you go.
We do have a lot of avid pool players that stay on our stream, so it's kind of cool.
That's nice. Yeah.
We have them all the way from Alaska to.
Oh.
Every once in a while we'll pick up players from the Philippines watching.
That's cool. Yeah.
I think the last time I looked at YouTube at our geographical outlook, I think we were like 160 countries we hit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love what you guys do. It's love people that are helping to promote this game. So.
Yeah, it's a game that a lot of people thought were going to die, and I think actually it's starting to gain ground again.
I would agree. Yeah, I mean, Matchroom obviously is big, and it also takes everybody. So I love to see anybody who's interested in the game to support it like it should be. So it's
Yeah,
good to see.
yeah. Jimmy, come on. Spot died years ago. He got ate by a shark. Hopefully we'll get our players back here soon.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Scotch, so it's 8-ball race to 4. Change that on the scoreboard too. Yeah, we actually have 3 different setups right now. We got 2 different recording setups at Derby on different tables.
Great.
And then we have this one set up here. So normally when I go out, I have like 4 or 5 cameras around the tables. And this event being at the same time as Derby has limited me to 1 camera
Okay.
for each table that we have. So
Too much going on.
yeah, but the content that we're going to get out of Derby should be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good little event here, though. I really like. There's a lot of good people here.
Yeah, that's Wisconsin.
Yeah, yeah. There's some of the nicest people in the pool world as far as amateurs go.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying anything about any other area. Don't get me wrong, but as tournament directors, sometimes they can be pretty rough on us at certain tournaments.
Sure.
But this one's pretty good.
Yeah, I like the event.
Yeah. Oh, you like the fact we drag diamond tables all the way out here. That's what you like.
I love diamond tables for sure.
Well, if you're ever in the Louisville area, just holler and I'll have somebody take you through the factory.
Cool, for sure.
I walked Preston through the factory. Preston actually drove the truck up here for us this year.
I was watching him get in the truck earlier in the week.
Our truck driver actually had something come up at the last minute, and I had to find a truck driver that could actually bring the tables up.
Yeah.
So luckily, knowing some of the players up here, I knew one that could drive, so it worked out good.
Yeah.
And Preston's a nice kid.
Oh, yeah.
He actually stayed and helped us put the pool tables together as we were taking them off the truck. And
wow, nice.
I think he was having more fun doing that than most people think it's work, but his girlfriend kept saying that it was time to go, and he was like, "No, we're going to do one more stack."
Yeah. Him and his dad are, very good. Nice people.
Yeah.
Helpful.
His dad and his mom actually took me and Amy to dinner the first night we got here, Sunday night. And they are real nice people for sure.
Yeah. Anything good? Where'd you go?
Actually, we went over to a little bar right over. It's just about 2 blocks away. Is it Hegmeister's or something like that? Hegmeister.
I'm so unfamiliar, honestly.
It's just sort of a decent bar that has decent steaks.
Cool.
Good little place though. And it's within walking distance of here. I think that's why they did it. But I'm a pool player. I don't walk very far unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
They asked me, they said, "Did you walk over here?" I said, "No, we have a car."
All right.
All right, looks like we're going to get going. you guys can't see what we have here for watching, but we actually have a 43-inch TV we use as a monitor, and we got a pretty good view actually of the table.
Yeah, you do. It's very clear.
I don't know if anybody you guys know Guido, but we have Guido here doing cue repairs. I've known the guy for about 20 years, and I didn't see him for about 10, and he popped up, and I was like, I didn't even know he was still with us.
That's funny.
He popped up last year in Michigan, and I was like, where have you been?
Yeah.
I thought you had a horrible accident or something. I hadn't seen you in so long.
Has he always done cue work?
Yeah. He's probably one of the older cue repair guys that I know. He's has to be in his 70s now.
Still at it.
Yeah. Joe Blackburn does all of my cue repair. Joe does all the pro events and all the events in Vegas. Joe's actually a room owner.
Okay.
But he's one of those guys that it doesn't matter what cue you have, you can trust him with it.
Yeah, it's good to have people like that.
Yeah. Well, like if I have shaft repair that I need or something, I actually just ship them to him now.
Yeah.
He just returns them within a couple of days. So
I'm fortunate. Steve Metoxen here is the queue worker for P Shower, which is here in Green Bay. I trust him with all of my cues. He's, very skilled in that area.
Amy actually shoots with a Peach Hour. She won one of Peach Hour's contests that they have every Christmas.
Yeah, that's a great thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
and Obi is our sponsor, and we all shoot with Obi. She has a Peach Hour butt that she shoots with, though, with an Obi shaft.
Sure, yeah. Well, I'm all P Shower, but when I first started, I was intrigued by the Obi shaft. I thought it was a good hitting shaft. But I'm now on the Rogue P Shower. I'm liking the carbon fiber that they've put out. But OB actually was a company that I thought was great from the start. So I liked their design for their shaft.
The B of OB was from Royce Brummel, and Royce was actually a friend of mine. He passed away about 3 or 4 years ago, but he was a lot of the he had a lot of the design work for Obi, and he's the one that came up with the different shafts that they have. Fantastic guy. He'd sit at tournaments with me and just sit at the tournament desk and just talk. He'd talk for hours about different stuff that he was coming up with, and
cool.
I really like those guys that are trying to make pool better.
Yes.
Through equipment or whatever.
Can't be said enough.
I haven't got my new fusion shaft yet, but that is coming. Kind of interesting that they did carbon fiber core with a wood shaft.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's players out there that prefer, to still have the wood feel.
Right. Yeah. Well, P Shower's Rogue shaft is very solid. I'm not quite sure exactly what they do for production on it.
Well, all carbon fiber shafts are actually hollow, and then they put an injected foam in them, and they all use different foam.
Sure.
So I'm sure it has to do with what foam they have in it.
Mm-hmm.
But the shafts themselves, the carbon fiber, they're actually smoother as far as the way they feel in your hand.
Right.
And that's what some of the players are saying, that they prefer the feel of the wood. And that's what Obi was trying to do. They're trying to come up with something that feels like your original shaft, but actually hits like the carbon fiber, which
all right.
I don't know how that's going to work. I mean,
Is it in development or has it?
They have one out, but they have different versions of it. They're like the fourth one, I think.
Oh yeah.
And this one is supposed to be extremely low deflection. So we'll just have to see exactly how that comes out. But they will be at the Worlds, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so we have I'm not sure how to pronounce the last names here, but it is Chad and Mary actually will be taking the break here. It looks like they won the flip. And this is the hot seat, so it's deciding who gets to sit for a while.
Yeah.
That's the most brutal thing for me, Mason. I don't know. I've actually lost in tournaments so I could get in the losers bracket because I stay in stroke that way.
Oh, you do for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
And I feel like when I sit in the hot seat, I get cold, and then when I get up there, I'm like, missing balls that I shouldn't miss.
Right. Yeah, that's a lot of the game. Once you've got your physical game down, it's all a relaxation game.
Yeah.
That you play.
I don't know how many new players I've told to go splash water in your face in the bathroom because I could tell their game had just slipped, and
yeah,
sometimes it just takes a break.
Yep, I did that earlier in the week. Went to the bathroom and washed my face.
Yeah.
Come back out, and I felt fresh.
Yeah, people think that's strange, but it actually wakes you up. You come back with a different look.
Right.
All right, so Steve and is it Holly? Yeah.
Yep.
Steve and Holly are at the table now. Steve is looking at which way he wants to go with this pattern.
The 8, clearly. Something they're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, we have to find a place to break that out.
That's the idea.
I like to attack whatever balls I have to break out early. Gives me more options. That's
right.
An 8-ball, that's a fantastic thing about 8-ball, actually, is the fact that you can get a little bit out of a line and you may just change your pattern.
Yeah. I would agree with that strategy 100%. Get that 8-ball clear. you know, there's no point to really try and get the rack if you don't have a clear way to get the rack.
You don't want to make it the last ball either.
Right.
Getting it cleared. The 6-ball's a little bit of an issue for him too. I mean, it's got a pocket, but you have to get on it.
Right. I wonder if it might slide next to that 15.
It could, yeah. Sometimes when you have a ball in a pocket like that, it just matters how much it's blocking, but it could also make that pocket really big.
Right. Nice power hit. How many Scotch teams were there in this event?
In Scotch, there were 2 different divisions, but I don't know how they, let me look real quick. Oh no, it's just any 2-player Scotch here, that's right, it's 25 teams.
Nice. So this is they've done their work to get to this hot seat match. And
oh yeah. I love Scotch. The any 2-player also is a big plus with Fargo getting a little bit of a handle on how people play. Jack and Jill at one time was supposed to be the equalizer. And now that we're allowing, 2 males or 2 females to play together, it's kind of interesting. We just did it in Arizona for the first time, and a male team against a Jack and Jill team ended up in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually the Jack and Jill team ended up winning.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game that anybody can learn. Sometimes you have that where the better player doesn't have to be a guy.
Right. Right.
There's plenty of really great women shooters. So, yeah, it's great to see that type of battle, the fire, that everybody seems to have that's a competitor.
Right. I'll see if that 6 ball goes by it or not.
I just seen the bank he was calling there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Just hit a little too flat in the face. It actually just went back and forth across the rail, but I think he may have been hoping that if he did miss it, that it would be in a better location, but I think it's
Right.
it's about the same.
Well, I just thought that initially I'm thinking, okay, if it's close to that 9, might be a good thing.
Right.
But actually, with how the rest of the layout is, you'd want a clear shot at it again if you get that chance. So maybe it'll slide past that 15 again,
Yeah.
like we were saying. But
I don't know if I would have played that particular shot right there. Clearing that 13 for them.
Sure.
When you had a pocket for it,
Yeah.
it makes it a little bit easier on your opponent.
Yeah, that 14 maybe was the ball to get rid of.
She's got a good safe, though. I mean,
yeah. If there's a ball in hand here, there's a opportunity.
See what Holly does with this. She's got a path 2 rails back to the 7, but it's not easy. Well, she's giving up ball in hand.
These rails with the Cyclop ball, they go long a little bit, so I've been having to adjust inward on my kick shots.
Yeah, one thing that you find about the diamond tables is if you let the ball roll, they will go long.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a little bit more speed on the ball, it'll
Right.
shorten up quite a bit. And a lot of tables are not that way, but the diamond rails are very, very sensitive.
Yeah, I definitely do a couple bank kick drills, and there's those 2 zones. I'll hit a few hard, hit a few pocket speed.
The designer of the table, Greg Sullivan, from Diamond, I actually played banks with him, which he's a big bank player.
Okay.
In Louisville, and he actually went over that about how speed is very important on a diamond table for banking. All right. Mary and Chad are starting their run here. Looks like they're going. I can't remember on this ball set which the orange is.
It's the 13.
Is it the 13?
Yeah.
With the pink set, it's just so weird.
Yeah.
And Cyclop got me this year with changing their ball colors.
Right.
When then Predator comes out with their balls.
Yeah.
At the Worlds last year, and they have another set of colors. Their colors are just a little bit off of the other ones, so the Predator balls are actually they play really well though.
Yeah, I was out at the World Championships last year, and they had used them at that event. Thought they were great. Really solid.
Predator's one of those companies that's actually trying to help pool come back too. They with that 10 ball out there with the $100,000 added 10 ball. That's a
their World 10 Ball event.
Yeah, that's a fantastic event.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet the president of Predator, and he definitely is trying to put money in the right places to make things happen. I think if he plays this, what is the pink? Is it 12? No?
Yeah.
Is it 12?
Mm-hmm.
If he plays at 12 down in the corner, I think he has an opportunity to get that 9 out if he wants to, or he could. There's actually many options here.
Mm-hmm. Try position for the combo.
Yep. Try position for the 9 combo there. That may be okay. She shoot the 12 on the side and just roll up and at least have a good look at the 9.
Yeah, even on the rail, side rail here, if you roll up to there.
Yeah.
When shooting the 9, you'd probably end up hitting the right side of the 6 and maybe not leave the best for them.
Yeah.
No matter what,
But if they do make this 12, they have to make a decision and go ahead and go for it, because only leaving 2 balls on the table and the 6 would be out in the open then
Right.
might not be the best choice.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell anybody who asks me, at my pool hall, the Mad Apple, in Appleton, or anywhere I am really, if they ask about the best strategies or whatever, I always think that just being certain in your
Right.
decisions is the most key.
That second that you get up and say, "Oh no, I'll try this," that's when you're in trouble.
Right.
Second guess yourself and then you miss for sure.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best parts about commentating and getting to watch a lot of pools, getting to see all the different strategies. Let's see what Steve's going to do here. Looks like maybe he's got the edge of the 7.
Yeah.
That's a good shot. Just to be able to hold the cue ball and not hit the edge of that 12.
Yeah, the tables here play fast. That was another drill that I was doing earlier, is the spot shot, where you just try to hold the cue ball from not hitting that end rail.
Yeah.
Do that, and I'm a pretty hard hitting player sometimes, so I like to practice both extremes and kind of get a well-rounded.
You guys end up shooting on valleys a lot, or?
We have our WSPA state tournament here, and that's on valleys. Generally, Wisconsin, for the places that they have, it's either a pool hall or it's a bar, and we've got a lot of bars here in Wisconsin that are valley tables. But
it just changes how you shoot. I mean,
mm-hmm.
A lot of bar tables, you end up having to shoot a little bit harder just to make sure the ball stays on path.
Yeah.
So
right.
that has a tendency to change how you play all the time.
Yeah. But for those fortunate enough, we do have a couple of rooms that have diamonds.
That's fabulous. I'll tell you what, I don't know how many times I've walked into a tournament and I've told myself, while we're shooting on tables we're unsure of, so basically I'm shooting everything with authority.
Yeah.
Slow roll.
I like
nothing.
to start that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Chad has an or actually Steve has an opportunity here, just to make the 6, go back and forth, and or slow roll the 6 and come down for the 8. Either way is a good option. Just if you decide to go the long way, just make sure you hit it hard enough to get back to where you actually have a shot on the 8, not sitting on the 50-yard line trying to bank the 8.
And that's really the key to Scotch is just playing one ball at a time. You should often play that way, but particularly in Scotch, you don't want to overthink it and start playing for your partner. It's still about you, but you are a team at the same time. So
yeah, I think knowing what your partner is comfortable with, as far as a shot, is real important.
Yeah.
Me and Amy play horrible Scotch together. She shoots left-handed, I shoot right-handed, and we both play a different game. So
yeah, that must be difficult.
yeah, we played one Scotch tournament together and went, you know what, we're never going to do that again.
It's for sure a difficult thing to be good at.
All right. So you put it all on Holly right here. Does Holly shoot out of a bar that you're familiar with, or?
I've seen her around. I've talked to her a few times. I haven't gotten to know her too well. I know that Steve often plays Scotch with her.
Oh, okay. And Steve, you're familiar with?
Steve, yeah, for sure. I've known him for a few years. I'm a P-Shower sponsor player.
Yeah.
And like I said, he does his cue work.
Yeah.
There at P-Shower. And he also comes down for our weekly tournaments at the Mad Apple.
That's awesome.
So we'll shoot on state teams together sometimes, and yeah.
Well, somebody's going on the board, and it looks like it may be Chad and Mary. Well, that was a difficult table for them to deal with, too, both teams. So we have 1-0 and a race to 4. Having a little discussion about different balls in the chat room there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's talking about the design on the newer ball. That might throw some off.
Yeah.
I don't mind it.
I do. There's one thing I do like about the Cyclop. It seems like the cue ball reacts more the way that the object ball does. And I think it draws a little easier.
On these Cyclops?
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem translucent often.
Yeah. Oh, seeing the edge of the ball can be more difficult, actually.
Yeah. And for sure they get action on them.
A lot of people don't know where it actually came from, though. There was a company called Hyatt years ago, and Hyatt made the Centennial balls that everybody loves. That company went out of business, and believe it or not, there was only one guy left alive that knew how to make those balls, and Cyclop actually hired him.
Oh, yeah?
And he actually went through the recipe to actually make the phenolic resin for those balls.
Okay.
And that was the whole thing behind him, is trying to get the Centennial balls back.
Sure.
Can't use the name because Hyatt, the company, still owns the name. But they were definitely designed from the same material as the Centennial balls.
They grew on me. They had a lot of hype when they first came.
Yeah.
Didn't know what to think. There's a lot of action, like you were saying. Sometimes it feels slidey,
Right.
but
Well,
they've grown on me, and
Yeah.
playing tournaments that use them, I don't mind them anymore. They're a good ball.
pretty much, I don't care as long as my opponent has to use the same ones. This is a little bit of a different table. The stripes are just 3 different clusters.
Yeah.
Although it looks like combinations are available on all.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite strange.
Yeah. The difference between a pro and an amateur is the pro's always just worried about where that first ball is going to end up. And higher end amateur players also look at the same thing. They look at where that, the first object ball you strike with a cue, where it's going to end up, because that could be your next shot.
For sure. Yeah. Sometimes if it's a straight on combination, I'll just ignore it and focus solely on my position ball.
Yeah. We do a lot of lessons as we travel around, and one of the things I really talk to certain players about is when I notice that they get down to the money ball, the final ball, and they struggle with that final ball.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the only ball they don't really concentrate on because they're not thinking about where they're going to leave.
Right.
And if you increase their concentration, a lot of times it would make a huge difference in their game.
Yeah. It's cool to see maybe a video back of yourself and see how true that is to the
Yeah.
idea of what your setup looked like and the amount of time that you're taking for the key balls
Right.
versus the beginning of the rack. It's all the same, really. You got to learn everything, and it's the same process to learn it.
Yeah, and I think early on there's a lot of more pressure when you get near the end of the rack because your goal is to get out, and sometimes that can be rough when you're first starting to play.
Yeah, it is. It's always good to see players who may have struggled with that in the past kind of overcome it.
Right. We've watched players grow. It's incredible to watch, actually. We've seen, me and Amy, we run the mini tournaments at Worlds.
Yep, I saw you there,
And
actually.
we get, like, a lot of the younger players coming in, and some of them are kids that are playing in the juniors and everything, and then we get to see them grow into something different. I forget the girl's name from Minnesota. She started off playing our mini tournaments, and she'd played some other stuff. I can't remember her name. She actually is just starting college, and she played in the women's pro tournament here in Wisconsin. I think she's 18 or 19. Hey, Amy, what's the player's name that was playing our minis? The female young girl that her dad was with her. April. Yeah. April Larson. Sorry.
Okay, that's I thought you were maybe thinking of her.
Yeah.
She's actually a P-Shower sponsored player too, so
yeah, she is,
she
and
probably knows Steve.
she's a good player, and she started off her dad. He was at the mini tournaments with her, and he was like, "Man, I got to get back to the room." And I was like, "Listen, if you want to let her stay here, we'll make sure that she doesn't get in any trouble."
Yeah.
And so she stayed and played mini tournaments like till late into the night, and she had a blast. I think it may have changed her outlook on pool at the time because she was pretty young,
Yeah.
and it's cool to see somebody like that actually progress. And she goes to Linwood now. I don't know if you're familiar with Linwood, but they're big in billiards. They actually have a collegiate team.
Mark Wilson, right?
Oh yeah, Mark. I don't agree with everything he does, but I do agree with what he does with the kids. He definitely teaches the kids well.
He's actually somebody that I would like the pool hall I play out of to get in contact with. We run a youth league.
Yeah.
In Appleton. It's been growing the last couple of years, and we've got a couple really potentialized. They got a lot of potential. These
Right.
youth players. This year, we had a state tournament, or for the state tournament last year, we had a state team. It was thrown together last second, and we were runner up for last year here in Wisconsin State.
Oh, that's awesome.
And this year we're coming back, but we replaced one player. Not personal, but we replaced him with a youth player.
Oh yeah.
Yep. His name's Caden Hillman.
Oh, I've heard of Caden. Actually, Susie may have told me about him. Actually.
Yeah.
Because earlier today I was talking to her. She was over by the brackets, and she may have actually mentioned Caden. She said he's a good little player.
Yeah, he was our initial standout at Mad Apple. He is very respectful.
That's good.
And very into the game. He improves. And he's got a brother, and his brother is improving a lot as well. His brother is like 16. And then Caden is 10, I believe.
That's awesome. I like the fact that you're giving him a chance to play on a team with adults, because that actually will help him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm 20 right now. And I started when I was 11. And it is something that I feel connected with because I know the people who had affected me in
Right.
a positive light. And so I like to be that kind of person for the right kids,
Yeah. Lots of respect for that.
But to kind of circle, I guess it'd be nice to get Lindenwood involved, possibly.
Oh yeah.
For kind of a showcase as to these kids doing well in school, and then also competing at high levels for the pool tournaments.
You should do a little bit of research on the Dallas school system, Dallas, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 or 4 tables in every school, and they compete against each other. It's like it's actually a class. They have billiards.
That brings up another great thing that's been going on at Mad Apple in Appleton is starting last year, we had a high school contact us about coming during gym class for learning billiards as a lifetime sport.
That's awesome. I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Right. If I had that in school.
Yeah. Yeah, if they had those classes, I may have actually done better.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so it's really great to see we're on the second year now, and the first year it was one teacher, and he had a buddy who was also teaching gym, and he brought him to us, and so we had 3 times a week, 3 classes a day. They'd come in, and we'd give a lesson, my dad and I, His name's Kendall. He owns the Mad Apple. We'd give a lesson, and then showing stance structure and the basics. Give them a display of different cues and try and give them a good idea as to where you can go in this game.
That's awesome.
It's great. They'll come back again. It's quarterly.
Yeah, I have, like I said, mad props for that. I mean, that's a big deal, and we have to grow the league or grow the sport that way. Basically, if we don't have the young people starting to play, it'll just die off.
Yeah.
All right. Holly's got to get them started here. Steve's got his work cut out for him. So what do you do here, Mason? I'm thinking
Could clip the side of the 7, come from that rail to the end rail here.
Yeah.
Slide behind the 5 and leave them a kick. Hopefully get in the area that it doesn't leave them that long rail. Kick
Right.
with the 8. Few options.
I'm thinking safety. I play off of the 5, and then come up table and go behind the 7.
It's a good one. Yeah,
and
for
then
sure.
If I'm playing aggressive, I'm thinking I try to cut the 7 all the way up, come around.
Right. The other one too, you could. Oh, he's gonna bank it.
Yeah.
You could clip the right side of the 7, just slow roll.
Yeah.
This you could also kind of draw back to the end rail.
Yeah, just
leave it a little tougher,
Yep. A lot of times safeties are overplayed because you're right. You can leave a tough shot and make it just as difficult, or.
Because that was ideal, honestly. Yeah. He's got that 5 in the side for his partner for Holly, and still left semi-difficult.
He left a bank, but banks are not 100%. It's adds a different level of difficulty to the shot for sure. Didn't leave him straight in. That's what I'm getting at, I guess.
Right.
Sometimes on a 9-foot table, I like sometimes just using a distance safety where I'm just dropping them on the other rail and giving myself the best opportunity I can if I don't have any place to hide.
Absolutely. A good majority of the time, that's work in your favor, and you'll eventually learn your lesson that it won't work on the player you're playing against.
Yeah.
But
just so much of it's mental.
it's exciting to overcome yourself too. I think that's a lot of keeping me coming back is that exact concept. I think it's why this game is so many people appreciate the game and spend a lot of time on it, because it's often there's the comment of it being difficult and why do I play this game, but really we all come back because the positive feeling is so nice. You know?
We get a lot of spectators that don't necessarily play pool. They'll be spectating like in Vegas and places like that, and they'll say, I don't know why these people take the time to play this game because it's so easy. All the shots are straight in.
You're right.
Yeah, but it's just getting to straight in. That's the hard part.
Yeah, it's such a simple game at first glance.
Yeah.
But it's also turns into the most complex game you could imagine. So it's really a wonderful thing about the game.
All right, so Holly's got the final ball here. for this rack.
I like the 8 on her arm sleeve.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're 1-1. Yeah, I'm going to have to get up there to you guys' room at some point when we're in Wisconsin and check it out.
Yeah, I'll be around. So
I've heard a lot about it, so a lot of players told me you guys run good tournaments up there, and that's a good place to go just to hang out.
the place is always moving.
Yeah.
We got a lot going on.
Little action here and there, and
There's action. We're connected to a hotel,
oh, cool.
so you'll get the occasional road player
Yeah.
walking in.
I don't know anything about that. I've never done that before in my life. Got the hustling jacket because I was cold.
Yeah, that's funny. And then we've got pool every night of the week. We've got 3 weekly tournaments on Monday, Friday, and Sunday afternoon. And then we've got our 3 leagues. We got a big one on Tuesday with all of our local great players, and then a good mix of learning players. But then we've also have our split league on Wednesday, Thursday, which is beginner, intermediate, split. So Wednesday night is beginner and intermediate is on Thursday.
So you basically have where people can progress. As they progress, they just change nights and just keep going.
Absolutely. And we start every night with a lesson.
Oh, that's cool.
Either my dad or I, or occasionally our pro shop manager, MH, or a few others might give their say as well.
I like MH. He's a nice guy. I tell you what, though, he may have gotten mad at me last year because I was teasing him about his snooker cue.
Yeah.
On the stream, I was telling him he's going to go up there and poke that with that toothpick.
Yeah. I tease him. I also got that comment because I play with my long.
Yeah, long cue.
My long cue. And that's a often comment is like, is that a snooker cue?
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
They don't think it's as funny though when you don't have to, grab that bridge, do they?
Yeah, that's right.
Wait a minute, he can reach the other end of the table.
But at one point, I had a 8mm shaft on my cue.
Oh, did you?
And it was it's often referred to as a staff.
Yeah.
But during that period, it was a toothpick. So.
Yeah, you can get a little carried away with English with that small tip.
Yeah.
Put a little bit more on the ball than what you actually have to.
Mm-hmm.
So what tip do you shoot with now? Is it?
It's on the Rogue. I just switched from the Peshawar Gold to Kamui Black Clear, which is what I've been used to.
Yeah.
I played with Kamui tips for most of my pool playing, and I've never seen a problem with them, and I've also felt as if they're as consistent as I need it to be. So I've played with a medium black.
Yeah.
Occasionally a brown.
Well, a long time ago, I used to shoot with a Mori medium, and I liked that tip, but
yeah,
the company sort of closed up, and now they're making them again, but I don't know if they're exactly the same.
They are making them. I remember that being a big tip when I had first started.
Yep.
One of the tips that everybody loved, and then I heard they were closing. I do. I think that there's a little difference. I had heard. I never shot with one, but
I have one shaft that still has one of the old ones on there, and I have not put any new ones on. I do have a Kamui, and I've tried some of the Tiger tips too. I don't really like them as well.
I've tried Tiger tips as well.
It was just, for me, it was a personal preference type situation. I just didn't, it didn't feel the same. On the Tiger tips, it seemed like I was chalking all the time. Like hit the ball and it would actually, most of the chalk would come off. I didn't like that very well. It may have been a little bit of a harder tip that I wasn't liking. This is a little bit of a mess here. The balls are really clustered up.
Yeah. Maybe just like he's just a little slide.
Yeah.
Take what you get. Just keep making them.
Yeah.
So you always want to see the ball, at least.
Yeah.
If you can, risky, but you might be able to come around the 12 on the other side, leave a back cut, and you can hold your...
Yeah, actually get right down in there.
Looks like he hit that pretty good.
Yeah, he did. Looks like there's enough room there to make that ball. And actually, if you slow roll that ball, you may actually get a good shot on the 3 also. I don't know if you can hold it to sit it on the 11 or just right in front of the 11.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from here.
Yeah.
Maybe bump it out too. Maybe work like that.
That'd be kind of nice too. That's
That's
sort of what
nice.
we were referring to right there, yeah.
Good angle.
Yeah, and it looks like the 8 ball goes in either corner.
Yeah, it does actually. I was thinking just play to the 14, but now that you're saying it, it's not as important. Ooh.
That was just a unfortunate little kiss. I don't know. I can't tell if it goes on the side or not. I don't think so. I don't think it goes past the 10. Well, maybe it does. That's where having more cameras would actually be good. We have GoPros when we have the lights up. They go in the light. I don't know if you've seen the new Littman lights. We actually sell those.
No, I have not.
They'll be at Worlds this year.
Okay.
They're LED panels.
Oh, yeah, I have seen those.
Well, we had them at the 10 ball.
Yep.
We had them above the arena for the 10 ball.
Yep.
But they have a panel that you can put in the light in the middle.
Okay.
Where a GoPro goes right in the top.
Wow, great.
Yeah, and we use those for our streaming there in Vegas, and gives you a fantastic look at these shots where you're wondering if it actually goes in the side or not.
Yeah. We have a similar concept at Mad Apple again, where we have a stream guy.
Yeah.
It's very techie. He writes code, and his name's Jay.
That's cool.
Toka. He was able to do a WPBA event earlier in the year, and we've got a website at madapplestreaming.com, which runs live 24/7.
Oh, that's cool. I'll have to check that out sometime.
And he has that same concept of a camera above the table. Then we actually have a dual screen where you've got this typical view that we have here, nice clear of the table, and then on a split screen next to it is that overhead, like you're saying, to see that upper angle.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's good to have somebody around too that can help you guys with that, because that, your locals that play there, if they can't make it, believe it or not, they do watch.
Mm-hmm. So she gave that a really good attempt.
Yeah, she did. And actually, it looked like maybe she did have to spin it a little bit, and she hit the point. She hit it at the right speed too. I mean, if it was going to go, it would have.
Mm-hmm.
She did everything right, is what I'm getting at.
Right. So now Chad here. Looks like the 11. Something you need to make sure you're good on.
Yeah, or bump it early. Looks like there may be some opportunity to do that too. See which way he decides to go. Yeah, he's just going to try to get real straight on it. That is a real good way to take care of that problem.
Mm-hmm. That's the escape. Now it's kind of remain calm and pick a pattern and stick with it.
Yep. Now they're clear. Everything's out in the open.
Yeah, you'd think the 14 might take the cut, but I like the 14.
Yeah, I like
just a stop shot.
Yep, just stop and then play the 13 and then probably shoot the 9. Just back and forth it across the table.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of similar hits.
Mm-hmm. 13 or the 15, both good options. But if she's got enough pocket there by the 8 for the 9, that may not be bad either, but I don't think she does.
I like the 13 first.
Yeah.
Keep a little distance from the object balls.
Well, and the 13 actually gives you really good position on the 9.
Yes, yeah. Kind of get, they're forming a circle. If you get anywhere kind of in that circle,
right.
You're going to have the 10, the 9.
And like we discussed earlier, that's the nice thing about 8-ball. If you're trying to get shape on the 9 and you end up with shape on the 10, oh well.
Yeah, you can play those spots where it makes sense for both and do what is most comfortable at that moment.
Well, since you and your dad are both avid pool players, I assume you probably use Simonis at your at the Mad Apple.
Yeah, all covered in Simonis.
There's been many people that have tried to come up with different cloth, but truthfully, I don't think I've had any that stand up to Simonis. They've had it right for over 100 years. They might as well just keep doing it right.
Yeah.
For a long time there, I didn't realize that they started in the 1800s.
Yeah, I was curious about that, It's a cloth. Wonder if it was just pool tables or how they originated, but
no, they started off in another country, and they I forget where they were at, but they've always made cloth. It's just not always just for pool tables. And it started off with pool tables. It actually started off with snooker.
Okay.
They made some cloth for that, and I actually got to meet one of the primaries for Simonis. Interesting company.
Well, I didn't see it, but I had heard about a nice little masse that Steve Metoxen made earlier.
Oh, really?
So I wouldn't suggest leaving him the edge here, but
no. Looks like he's thinking about jumping it. It's kind of a distance, though. Get spooky. You hit this one wrong and the ball's off the table. if it goes too long and it bounces near the 8. It looks like he may be looking at the shot you're referring to. Just coming around it a little bit. It's not a full ball, so. Oh, maybe you can see it. I have a feeling this is going to be really close. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's 2-1, huh?
Yeah, that's a really good shot. When you're that close to a ball, it's so easy just to, just brush the edge of that ball, especially when you're trying not to hit it. Most of us shoot with low deflection now. When you first started, were you shooting with low deflection, or did you start off with like a maple shaft?
Straight maple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you went through the same thing of having to relearn how to shoot, because the difference with the deflection, I mean, we actually were trying to train ourselves to, adjust for the deflection of the shaft.
Yeah.
I found that as I went to different shafts and I started to reduce the deflection, I noticed that I was aiming true. You're aiming actually for where you'd want to hit the ball. Before, it was like your mind changed it a little bit and said, hey, we got to aim over here if we're going to hit that.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about 3 months actually to get used to low deflection, to where I was, making balls regular.
Yeah, I know of quite a few players that you would assume would make a switch, but they won't, and there's still a lot of reason to play with a straight maple.
Yeah.
If you're used to it, you're used to it, really. I was fortunate enough to still be pretty young when I had made that switch, so it was still kind of overly simple.
Right. I got a good spread on this rack.
Yeah, the best we've seen so far, I think.
Yeah. They're at least not clustered up to the point where they're touching each other, so that makes it easier to work with. Now we just have to see where Chad wants to start.
Yeah. And it's a interesting decision to see what he'll do here as to which suit he's going to take.
Yeah, he has good options both ways. I think if I was trying to run out here, I'm probably going to take stripes, because of the 13 more than anything else.
Yeah, and I like that, but also that 8-ball then needs to be dealt with.
Right.
I might try a follow-through shot where you roll the solid past that stripe.
Right.
But it looks like
they committed.
Yeah. Looks like Mary has a combination.
Yep. Yeah, they need that combination too. That helps complete this. Looks like it's off a little bit.
Yeah, which might work in her favor if the 4 decides to get out of the way enough.
Yeah.
Off that angle.
She's looking at the 11, whether it passes or not.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Leave him the decision.
Yeah, let him decide whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah.
But it may actually come off the 7.
Yeah.
It looks like the 4 actually may come off that 7. If it does, it will complete what they're trying to do.
Depending on the space there's a lot of room for it to go any way you want, really.
Yeah, with
the way you hit it and the speed and the English.
Little bit of speed, you could also knock the 8-ball up table. get it out of there.
Yeah, sure.
Which I'm sure that's what Chad's thinking about right now. He's got to get that out and hopefully do something with the 12 where it's not. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. That's what he's calling anyway. Is your match coming up a final?
My match, yeah, is the final for the 10 ball.
What time is it?
1:30.
1:30.
I think.
Yeah.
I think we were on this table here, so I don't know if it'll be delayed.
Yeah, it probably will, but I also may want to let you go and hit some balls so you can get warmed up. I don't want to take you out of commentating and put you right into a match. That'd just be cruel and unusual.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll finish out this rack.
That sounds good.
And then yeah, it'll be nice to get make sure everything's in order.
Yep. Do not want to harm your game by having you help. Looks like he's thinking of, or she's thinking about taking that 12 off of the 8. If it slides in there, it's good to go.
Yeah, it's definitely.
But you don't want to push that behind the 5 either. Oh no, she just got it to go in there. That works. She owns the 8 ball now.
Right.
All right, so Steve comes back out. So funny, after the break, everything was spread out, and now there's a couple little clusters.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I'm playing Scotch or something like this, or even just playing 8 ball, I'll be sitting at the table thinking about which pattern I'm going to shoot, and then they'll go and it's like they hit shuffle.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole table's different when I get to it.
Sometimes I might read the table and decide that I'm just gonna push my balls around for a while and not actually attempt anything. Let them go for a while.
Well, and
save my energy.
You're exactly right too, because if you move too many obstacles for them, they can get out.
Right.
If you just, you just leave your tough balls and then you make all the easy ones, that does not work out well.
No.
Because you're like, oh well, I guess now I know he can run 5 balls if I make him all out in the open. People hate that though when you're just pushing things around and they know it.
Yep. And I love it.
Yeah. Talk about slowing somebody's game down.
Yeah.
It's a good shot. Sort of off the 12. It didn't break the 8 out, but it did open up the pocket a little bit. And they still have the 1 ball they could possibly use to get that 12 out of there.
Yeah, this is kind of where it starts to come down to making the decision as to what that key ball is going to be to get rid of this problem that they have.
Right.
Sometimes I'll revert to the strategy I just talked about and kind of let them figure it out. Sometimes it's risky, but really depends on.
Yeah, because they may really figure it out, right?
Yep.
A lot of people do not think that 8 ball should be played as a professional type game, but I think 8 ball in a bar box is a fabulous game.
Yeah, I would disagree to say that it shouldn't be. there's definitely so much thinking, everything that you've accumulated as your knowledge for the game is placed into your decisions.
Most of the pros, they don't want to play it. They want to play 10 ball. But there are a few of them out there that still like playing 8 ball. And, on a 9-foot table, you get a good spread. You can run out real easy with 8 ball.
Yes, you can.
But you put it on a bar box where things cluster up better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a difficult game. And I like watching 2 pros go battle at it because some of the best pool I've seen is right there. Seen Mike DeShane actually playing on a bar box at the CSI, one of the CSI Open events, the CSI 8 ball.
Okay.
And he was playing a 16-year-old kid from Missouri, and the kid took him out of the tournament.
Yeah.
And just running racks on him just because the kid played a really good small game, like moving the cue ball very little.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes in 8 ball, that can be a big advantage.
Yeah. Well, and that might circle back to our topic of Efren, in that he can move to all these different styles and situations and just perform.
Funny story, one of the Filipino players, when we were doing the bar table, we had to explain 8 ball to him because he'd never played it before, so we had to explain the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And he won the tournament. He won the U.S. bar table.
Nice.
And at the end, he said, I really like this 8 ball game. I'm going to try it again.
Yeah.
How sickening is that first time trying it?
Yeah.
Just win the U.S. bar table, that's all. It was Roberto Gomez.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm going to have to try this 8 ball again.
So I'm figuring she was trying to break out that 8.
Yeah. I mean, I'm at the point where I don't think I would actually try to make another ball until I got that 8 out of there. I only got 2 balls left on the table. It's already complicated enough, but the opposing team may now try to clear it themselves, which, like you said, is dangerous. It could go either way at that point, though. Either get the 13 looks, well. What do you think? Do you think he was just trying to hit him around?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think that it maybe didn't work in his favor, though, this time.
Yeah.
If I were Steve, I'd probably slow roll this combo.
Yep.
Not freeze the 2 to the 8, but get it enough that you can do something with it and leave them tough with the 8.
Or leave the 2 right where the 12 is. Enough to where you take the same advantage
right.
that
no,
they
exactly.
have.
Yes.
But it has to roll past the 8. It can't come back towards the... It definitely has to follow it just a little.
Mm-hmm. Well, where I had thought that stripes was the advantage here is that even if you don't make that 12 that's sitting there, it's a given safety.
Right. Oh, he didn't want that.
I had thought he's going to turn around there, but that was kind of a shocking outcome there. I would rather get rid of that.
Yeah, right away with ball in hand. Because
it might work. It probably work.
You're one of those players like I am, though, where I know that if I go down there and take that 12 out now, I know I can get position on one of those other balls.
Yeah.
With ball in hand. I mean, it's just...
I'll split the table in half, you know, and it's definitely an outlier sitting down. Gotta play. They had to play this rack a little tighter.
Yeah.
Looks like they're still on the right track.
Did she hit that well? I'm not taking any chances though here. I'm just rolling that ball in, setting the cue
Just
ball on the
make it.
rail.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't care about anything else. People on the chat hear me say it all the time, but I'm constantly saying don't make shape if you already have it. If you already have a clear shot, just take your shot.
Yeah. That's fine. Looks good there.
Yeah. That puts them 2-2.
All right. Well,
good luck in your match.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully you have a little bit of time to get warmed up and everything.
Oh, this is perfect. Looks very nice. So thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Talk to you later.
And that was Mason Cook from the Mad Apple in Appleton, Wisconsin. Really good local player. Sounds like they have a lot of good things going on at the Mad Apple, including some stuff with the juniors, which we like to really hear that. Definitely helps our sport. Amy's going to come help commentate a little bit. Got 2 stripes down. I want to give Mason enough time that he could
decompress.
Well, go hit a few balls and stuff before his match. I didn't want to hold him up and make it worse for him. Me and Mason had a pretty good conversation about their pool hall, the Mad Apple in Appleton. They actually have juniors leagues.
Well, that's good.
Sorry, they have juniors leagues, and they start off every league night with a lesson.
That's good.
Where him or his dad actually goes out and does lessons for the beginning of league night.
Well, that's good.
And they've also staggered their leagues where they have a beginner's league night, an intermediate where it's mixed,
Yeah.
and then the higher end players on a different night. So they have you progress from one night to the other. This match here, they've had a lot of clustered up racks where they've had some complications of going back and forth, and I'm going to need to take a little break before I come back for the finals of the 10 ball.
Is that what that next match is?
Yeah. So I don't know, we may even be able to get somebody else to come commentate too.
Yeah, could be. I told Chris I was going to put her in here.
What'd she say?
So, okay, whatever. And laughed, walk off laughing. I said, I'm serious.
All right, that's Steve. Steve works at Peach Hour.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he works at Peach Hour. Actually, Mason is sponsored by Peach Hour.
Oh, well, that's cool.
So he knows Steve and said that he does some of the, Steve does Q work for Peach Hour.
I'm just going to put this out there. I've got a peach hour and I love it.
Shoot with an Obi shaft, but you have a Peach Hour.
Yes, my peach hour is beautiful and perfectly weighted.
All right, this is Holly. Shooting the 12. Looks like she's just shooting a down table.
You're going to have to quit yawning.
Yeah,
You got me yawning. It's too early for that.
did it on purpose.
See if I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
I'm going to squeeze by this 8-ball.
Yeah, this is Mary. Mary shoots pretty straight.
I've been watching her play for a few years now. She's pretty sporty.
Look
Go,
at that.
girl.
Right
Go,
around
girl.
it. She said we're just going to shoot it down there and make a turn when it gets to the end. Just turn on its signal and let it go.
I guess that one goes by, or is he going for the 4? No, yeah.
Forward. I'd be taking that 6 right about now.
Oh, yeah, the 6 is in perfect position.
Take it while you got it. I don't know. It may be a little straight.
And somebody needs to be able to draw to get that one out.
Yeah, but that's the time to take it right there.
I've just been sitting up at that ass taking entries. I'm like, give me your money.
Okay.
And doing some payouts and
We ought to make Kenny come over here and do this for a minute, and I'll go smoke.
yeah, when he comes back, do that. When you go smoke, you can go out to the car and get me a drink.
Yeah.
I left them out there so they'd stay cold.
Great. Now they're frozen. And this is Chad. He got right back on that 6.
Yeah, that's pretty sporty. But straight in.
It's straight in again, yeah.
She's still going to have to pull out, draw it back some to get on that 8-ball. But at least that's all she's got to worry about, not the other 2 balls.
Right.
Jimmy Bluffett says he's drinking scotch while watching Scotch doubles.
Are you drinking Scotch doubles also?
Oh. Well, even if you can't see it, I think you can. It still easily comes off the rail.
Yeah. He's looking awful long.
I wish I'd make vodka doubles.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of scotch. Beautiful.
Nice shot.
One more for Team Red.
3-2. They're on the hill. They are on the hill.
So Jimmy Bluffett says he is from Chicago but lives in Texas now. He should come and see us at our Texas event
Yes, you should, Jimmy.
down in Temple, Texas, the last week of May.
Well, what you should really do, she said you should come to Texas. What you should really do is drop me the keys to that house in St. Lucia. I mean, you're only spending half the year there. I could spend a couple weeks there at least. That's actually one of the most beautiful islands that, that exist, period.
I guess we had a bathroom break.
Yeah, one of the players had to go on out.
He rents it out on Airbnb.
Yeah, actually, I might be interested. I like that island. We spend a lot of time in Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica about 7 times.
Not about. You have been to Jamaica 7 times. They
Yeah.
say he is no longer Jamaican. He is straight Jamaican.
But I do like St. Lucia. I like all the little islands, though.
You pay for yourself in 8 months. Hey, there's a house I need you to buy in Fort Myers Beach, Florida.
we rented a house, Jimmy, down in Fort Myers Beach, Florida. That
Oh,
it was
absolute
probably
perfection.
a couple $1 million home. They have the amenities perfect in it, though.
5 bedroom, 3 bath, 3.5 bath.
Yeah, overlooking the bay with a dock. I'll have to check that out, Jimmy, because I may be interested in renting that at some point.
But that house at $4,500 to $5,000 a week paid for itself pretty quick.
Yeah, it probably did. Cyclop cue ball is a little bit hard to get used to because it since everything's the same weight, all the balls are the same weight. It reacts really funny. It's actually physics. It reacts the same. That's the difference.
You should go take your smoke break.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Can.
Kenny's doing payout, so
All right.
I'll talk to myself for a minute.
I'll be
Wambra
right back.
and Jimmy will talk to me. We're just waiting on the players to come back from bathroom break, I'm assuming. At least it's supposed to be a bathroom break. They're not supposed to take smoke breaks. I'm pretty sure I know what those emojis are, Wambra. They look like face plants. And they're coming back slowly but surely. He better quit chit chatting and go smoke his cigarette, or me and him's gonna fight. Cody, are you looking for the brackets for this event? This event's brackets and anything held for CSI is found. The brackets are at ctsondemand.com. Oh, he knows I'll whoop him. So we got Holly Rackin. That's awful shiny chalk holder she's got there. Looks like it's got sparklies on it. Oh, Mary just finally made her way back, so both teams are here, and this should get started. Yeah, after this match, I think it's the 10-ball finals for 8 Scotch doubles. 8, I don't know which. Yeah, this is just the Scotch doubles finals. The next one is the finals, I believe. I don't know for which division. I'm gonna assume it's for platinum though. And ka-thunk. So on Solid's side, the 5-ball seems to be the only major problem. Ba-thunk. They really need to get me a sound machine. I would have so much fun with sound effects. Sadly, being the grown child that I am, I would use the fart button a lot. We will be in Temple, Texas. It's about 2 hours south of Dallas. I believe the dates of the event are May 25th through the 31st. We don't usually get to drink much, but we'll eat some food. Oh, Lord, we love our Texas food. It's at Temple, Texas at the Mayborn Civic Center, which is a really cool event because we have some groups that actually rent out the camper spaces behind the event center, and it's usually actually sold out. And there's one group that rents out like 5 of them, and they put a camper on either end of them, and in the middle 3 they set up canopies, and they set up a grill and a smoker and a griddle, and tables and chairs and music, and they drink and have food and they tailgate at a pool tournament. Never seen anything like it in my life. Looks like on this one, it's best option is the 2 ball. He's trying to see if he can get, the 4 ball. He's trying to see if he can get back out with that after shooting the 2 ball to make the 4 on the side. Is that 5 ball still a problem? And get over. Looks pretty sporty. Yeah, the tailgating at the pool tournament, I don't eat as well as when I am at that tournament. They make fajitas, fresh made fajitas. They have boudin out there. They have steak and chicken and pork and all the goods. All the good stuff. And then, of course, beer. Lots and lots of beer. Jimmy, I don't think we'll be in Vegas at the same time you are, because we are actually going to be in Vegas in March this year. They moved us away from the World Series of Poker. We actually leave to go to Vegas for that event on the 4th or 5th of March. Oh, yeah, I love me some boudin, too. Give me some crawfish boudin. Oh, so good. Y'all better stop it. Y'all making me hungry. So Steve's at the table, trying to figure out what to do with this 5 ball, because there ain't much you can do with that 6. Doesn't have a window. Best chance is to find a safety. Play hide and go seek. Peekaboo. Hit the button. Tell Pandora we're still listening. Yeah, that was the problem with that 4 going in the side, was that it, I knew it was going to go over there. It was going to mess up the whole thing with the 5 ball. It looks like he may be trying to cut that in the side. That's a tough one. If he does that, the crowd better go wild. Oh. It was so pretty. All right, Jeremy's back, and now it's my turn to go smoke, and then we will both chit-chat.
Yeah.
We got to talking about food, and now I'm hungry.
Oh. Yeah, we should probably do food eventually. Yeah, Bubba Gump's is one of my favorite restaurants, actually. Thank you, Wamba. We get caught up with the game here. Looks like Mary and Chad. All right. Chad's on this 14. Trying to find out what position he wants to put Mary in for the next ball. Looks like he's going to try to put her on the 11, where she can actually put the 11 in the corner where he's at now and give him a good shot on the 9. No, he's actually going to shoot the 11. I'd shoot the 11 off the 5. There you go. Oh, that 15 got a little weird. Looks like the 6 rolled right in the way, too. Well, at least the 15's not touching. So she's going to try to just ease the 15 in and leave him on the 10. Mary seems to have a pretty good eye. Oh, she's a little off there, but let's see what Steve and Holly can do here with these that are left. May give them an opportunity to tie this back up. Wisconsin Billiards Hall of Fame, thanks for checking in. All right, so Holly drops the 5. Leaves the shot on the 6. It's a little bit of a cut, but I think Steve's got this. Just overcut it a little. Can't tell if Chad's looking at banking this or if he's going to cut it. Looks like he's just playing safe. That leaked out a little bit. Looks like Holly's going to cut this ball. And a nice lead for her partner. Steve ought to put this down real easy. Glad to have Steve with us from Peach Hour. And that ties it up 3-3. We have a hill match for the hot seat in Scotch. Yeah, Mike Massey is from Tennessee. Mike Massey's from Memphis, or the Memphis area. Or at least he's there a lot. Let me put it that way. I don't know where Mike's originally from. I do know that the last time I talked to him, though, he was actually writing country music, which was interesting. There's a break in the final rack. Again, lots of clusters. Best billiard player from Kentucky. I know who I'm going to have to go with. You want current billiard player from Kentucky, or do you want probably the best that's ever been from Kentucky? Oh yeah, I've seen Mike do a lot of different shows and stuff that he does. Definitely an entertainer where he spins. Yeah, he was doing that in Vegas last year, actually. He has a guitar out in Vegas too last year. It's kind of different. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Buddy Hall as far as the best player in Kentucky. He said ever.
Oh. Kentucky.
Well, I can tell you that Efren told me that he never took money from Buddy Hall. So said gambling, he never took money from Buddy Hall. That's what he said. I'm sure Efren beat him in tournaments, but
Anybody from the Paducah area?
yeah, Buddy's from Paducah.
All right, let's see what we got going on here. Well, that's a lovely old-fashioned cluster up there in the top right-hand corner.
Yeah, if they were playing one pocket with stripes, you'd want that pocket.
That 7, though.
Yeah. I think I'd probably end up taking that 7 out with a carom or something. Wow, he's left with a back cut here. No, we haven't gone to the Kentucky Derby. We live close to a horse track, though. We live about 10 minutes away from Kentucky Downs.
I used to be a bartender there during the Derby.
Yeah.
Some of the best money I ever made. Well, yes, I'll work 2 days for $600 in tips.
Cody, yeah, Nick Varner, yeah, definitely from Kentucky too, but I still have to go with Buddy Hall.
And Buddy's such a nice person.
Oh, he is. Not doing well, but
yeah,
nice person.
His health has declined. Is he trying to make that on the side?
He's trying to make it in the side, but he's doing it
to break out the 7.
Yeah. If he thins that, he'll get down table and
His shirt just reminded me. I just saw a Peach Hour make a post about his carbon fiber after the one I hit with in Vegas.
yeah,
which it wasn't a Peach Hour, but it was a carbon fiber first time ever. It's actually pretty sporty.
Yeah. Buddy, I don't know how old Buddy is. You may be correct.
Oh. It's okay.
I think he called the 3.
He did, but it's okay because
yeah.
Now that 7's out of the way, and that's still a good old fashion cluster down there. So
yeah,
it's gonna be take a little bit of work.
Unfortunately, the way I probably would have went is I probably would have called the 7, knowing that I'm working harder to make the 7 than I am the 3.
Buddy, how 74?
74. I seen Buddy probably 4 years ago.
No, I've seen him more than recently than that.
Have you?
Yeah.
He wasn't in the greatest health, though.
God, where did I see him? Maybe it was I saw a picture of him.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know we seen him at the Music City Open at one point.
Before we quit playing it.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like they may get this one. All he's got to do is stop that cue ball on the 8 straight in.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, Holly is left with this 8 ball, and it's not the
greatest, but it'll go on the side.
It'll go on either side, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Has a good banking possibility, and if you were to bank it, you could at least draw it back a little bit. and leave it to where
The cue
everything,
ball's down here.
yeah, down here and everything on that other end of the table is hard to deal with. Leaving, where you have a combination rather than a straight in shot.
I'm just gonna let you know, Todd said that he made caramel bars for us. He's gonna bring for us tonight.
Oh, did he?
Yes. I told him thank you. Thank you so very much. You know my heart.
Yeah, he's a good guy too. There's a lot of them around. All right, it looks like,
Looks like she might be going for the cut.
yeah.
But then again, I can't tell from here. It could be a bank. Oh no, she went for the bank. She went for the bank.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
And that's a win. That's a way to go out. All right, that's the end of the hot seat match for the Scotch doubles.
Yeah.
And we will be coming right back with a final for 10 ball. So give us about 5 minutes and we'll be back.